Okay, in this video we're going to be drawing this exercise 6.7 column support. We'll notice a few different things right here. Is basically there is this circle going around it which causes a pattern, so I'm going to show you kind of a couple of new tools. The other thing to note is right here in the blue it says that it is a metric drawing, so we need to make sure that we change our drawings to metric. Now if we go down here to Inventor, this is normally your home screen. You might have some stuff up here depending on if you've drawn stuff before or not. We're going to go right here to where it says New and click on New. Again, if you watch any other videos, I kind of talk about New is also up here with the folder or the page folded over, or File New right there. Either of those options work. I'm just going to hit New right here. Right here it says ENUS. We're going to click the down arrow and we're going to go to Metric. And now we have a lot more options because metric's kind of standard for the whole entire world, and so they give you a lot more options for that one versus just your English ones like that one. But again, metric, we're going to go to this one that says standard mm for millimeters, IPT, inventor part. We're going to hit create. We'll give it a moment to figure its stuff out and load up. We're going to go right here and say start 2D sketch. And when we're drawing this, we want to basically see how we want to draw it. And so I want to draw it from the front view right here. That's looking directly at it on the front side here, so that we can draw this triangle shape. We'll add the hole and the circle afterwards, or the column, and then add the hole after that. And we'll add these little ribs in the very end of that one. With that, we're going to take a note of some of these things. There's 3 holes. That's what 3x stands for. It's a diameter of 12. It is extruded 12 millimeters, and then right here if you zoom in it says 3x radius of 16. So the circle for this is 32, or radius is half the diameter, which is 16. I'll show you how to do all that. And again, there's 3 of them for that. That's all the dimensions we need. Diameter of 12, radius of 16, extrusion of 12 to start off with. So we come here. This is our front plane, so the XY plane is front. If we click on that, up here in the top right corner it will say front. If yours does not, go back, hit start 2D sketch, and make sure you choose the correct plane. You might have to go back in the video for that. We're going to start with a circle, and I'm going to get one more measurement now that I kind of forgot. We need this diameter of 127 right here as well, because that's where all of the circles are located off of. And so that isn't extrudable. So what we need to do is choose circle. We go up here to the right hand side where there is a red line meeting another red line. If you hover over it, it says construction. Please click on that. It should highlight blue now. You'll see it's a little bit darker blue up there. Click on the yellow dot, which it turns green, and you're going to type in 127 and hit enter or return. There is our circle to spin this all around. From there we're going to keep it on circle. We're going to take off the construction. So I click that one, and now it's going to make a solid line. You'll notice construction lines are dashed, meaning that they're not extrudable. Only things that are extrudable are solid lines. So we're going to go very straight, or we're going to go straight up from the center point. So we just follow this black line going all the way up till it hits the circle. It should automatically lock there. We're going to click, and we're going to do a diameter of 12. And now that is this circle right there. We're going to do the larger circle, which again is a radius right down here of 16. So we come back. We're going to go to that same center point. We'll click, we'll move out, and you're going to right click on your mouse, which gives you this drop down box. Right here is the option for radius. So we click there, and now we can type in 16. If you cannot figure out how to do that one, just type in 32 for your diameter, and it'll do the exact same thing. Now we have those 2 circles. We're going to go up here to where it says circular. We sometimes use dimension, but we're going to use circular. And what this is going to do is make these 2 circles and copy them and spin them around this. And we need 3 copies. We need the 2 originals. We need a set down here, and we need a set down here. To do that, geometry is asking us what is spinnable, or what we want to spin around this. So we're going to go geometry. You're going to choose that circle and that circle. They're highlighted blue now. Axis, we click on the little mouse right here, and this is asking what do you want to spin it around, and that's going to be this outside circle that we created. You'll notice there's 6 of them here. one for the original, and then there's 5 other ones. So up here we want to change, and we want to have 3 of them. Hit OK. We're going to grab a line, and I'm randomly going to draw a line. I'm going to zoom out actually. I'm going to draw a line just right here to here, and then I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to grab a line again. L on your keyboard is short for line, so if you click on L, it'll do the same thing, or you can click on the picture up here. I'm going to draw one on the bottom, hit escape, draw another one off over here. What that's doing is giving me lines to connect to these circles. I don't want to connect them right away because it can cause problems, so I just make them a lot larger than what I need. I'm going to come up here to all of these little red and black lines, and we're going to grab the circle that's red with a black line on it, and that's called tangent. What tangent does is it sticks a line on the outside edge of a circle. You can also use it on other circles, but that's another topic for another day. So we're going to click on the outside of this circle, this larger one, click on the line. That has connected those two. We then come down to this circle, outside, line, outside of this circle, line, outside of the circle, line. You'll notice they start filling in and being darker because they're starting to lock in. Outside of this circle, line there, line, outside of the circle. And now we've just completed the whole entire outside of the part. What we want to do is we want to cut these lines shorter, so we come up here, we find a tool with some scissors on it called trim. If you hit X on your keyboard, it's also the shortcut, but we're going to hit trim. Now I'm just going to go through and click these extra long lines until they run into the circle. Click the tops up here, click these ones here. If you did not make the lines long enough, go back, delete the line. So you can always click on a line, right click, and you can delete it up here and redraw it and make sure it's longer. But this is what you should end up with for this next part. We go up here and hit Finish Sketch, zoom out, and to zoom out you can either use your scroll wheel or you can come up here and hit this corner. That's automatically just a quick zoom out. I will always click on this one, it's just a lot faster. Go hit Extrude, it's top left button over here. Select Profiles. Now what we want to select is what do we want to make 3D. So we want to create 3D of this centerpiece. We want to grab the bigger circles and not the inner ones. So make sure you zoom in, click on this, it should highlight green, leaves that space empty. If you hover over the outside line, it can grab it all. We just want the inner spot. And grab all of those ones. We're going to extrude this one 12. We're going to hit OK. So far what we have done is we drew this whole entire bottom section. We extruded 12. And that's all we've done so far. Again, we've used this measurement, we've used 12, we've used 16, and we've used 127. What we're going to do now is draw in this column, extrude the column, and then we're going to cut the hole in it after the fact because it goes down a certain depth. That's what this down arrow means. It goes down 32 millimeters the hole. So the next one is 63.5. So we come back here, start a sketch on this flat surface. You'll notice the little yellow dot pops up right here because that's where we started everything. That's where that center of this circle was. We're going to grab a circle, go to the yellow dot, click, move out, and it was 63.5. Hit enter. Now one thing you'll notice when you do that, since we measured in radius earlier, it's too large for what we want on this one. What we need to do is right click on this part and delete the outside or delete the circle. Go back to circle, click there, move it out, right click. Before I place this circle, I'm going to right click, I'm going to change it back to diameter. Now we can type in 63.5. Finish sketch. We go back to our drawing and look at this, and over here on the side it says that it needs to be extruded 38. So go right here, extrude, we're going to type in 38. And we hit OK. Start a sketch on this column now right here. And what we're going to use is a point. Instead of a circle and cutting it down, we're going to grab point. We're going to click on the little yellow dot. And all that's doing is putting a plus there. You can't really see it. You just get a little orange box. And we hit finish sketch. But here you can see that point. What that does is it gives us a spot to drill. And so we come up here to hole. We usually use extrude, but we're going to use hole for this one. It's going to drill a hole. Then we have a couple of different options. We're not changing anything. These should all be in this center spot. If it didn't select the hole, you can always go hit the plus and it'll select that spot. It usually automatically does as long as there's only one plus. We need the size of the hole. So we go back here, we look, there's two sizes, 38.1 and 38.02. The difference is basically when you're machining them, you need to set a tolerance, which is a largest size and a smallest size that the hole can be and still be usable. If they fall outside of these parameters, it no longer works and they scrap the part. So anyways, we're going to pick one of these. 38.1 is the easier measurement to type in, so that's the one that I'm going to type in. So we're going to go here, we're going to type in 38. So 38.1. Make sure mm is behind it. Sometimes these can get set in inches, so just make sure mm is behind it, and then it's going to make the hole the right size. We do not need to go all the way through. You'll notice it's drilling all the way through the part. We're going to go right here to termination. Click on this one. These are the 2 points that it has on the bottom. We don't want an angled point, so that's basically a drill bit. We want it to be a flat bottom. And then how far down does it go? It goes 32. And just to kind of show that, right here it says down 32 millimeters. And we hit OK. Now finally we have to draw those rib pieces, which are just extra bracing so this doesn't snap off. So we come up here to start a sketch. We can't draw on a cylindrical surface. So what we're going to do is go here to where it says origin. I'm going to grab a view that cuts straight down through these holes. So I'm going to choose this one, which is the YZ plane, YZ. It rotates this way. And now I really hate not being able to see everything, like I'm drawing dead center of this part. And so what I want you to do is come down here to the bottom. There's a little blue screen, and we click on that. Or you can type in F7. What that does is it basically cuts in half so that I can kind of see what I'm drawing a little bit better. I'm going to take a line. I'm going to come up here to this top corner. Should get a green dot. I'm going to click. Go down here to the bottom. I don't want to select it onto anything else but this bottom line, or this right side line, I should say. I'm going to click here. I'm going to go from back here. I'm just going to click there, go straight down a little ways. I'm not going all the way to the hole. I just want to go down a little ways. So something like this. I'm going to click. I'm going to connect down this way. And what I did was, if I extrude this here a little bit, it's not going to attach unless I sink it into the part a little bit. You can always add extra material. It doesn't do anything to the part. So I always make sure that I'm inside of the object before I extrude this. We need dimension. The only dimension that we need currently is this 19 right here. And then we have 10 for the width. So we come here. 19 is going to be from this green dot right there to this this line right here. However, you'll see that I cannot dimension to it, but I can dimension to this point right here. So I'm going to click there instead of this line. We go up here. We type 19. Again, this I just want sitting inside the part. I hit finish sketch. The moment I do that, it becomes a solid object again. We're going to hit extrude. And now if I look at this way, we're going to type in 10, but we're not going to hit enter. Now if I type in 10, it only goes one direction. But if we look at this, it is dead center of that hole up there. It's going back and forth, 5 one way, 5 another. To do that, we go up here in the directions, and there's 2 black arrows going opposite of each other. If you click on that, it automatically assumes that you want half of it to go this way, half of it to go this way. We hit OK. And that is one of them. The reason I made it longer was if we didn't, there would be a gap right here. We'd have to come back and fill that one. So we made it inside the object so that it's a little bit longer than the object itself. Alright, finally, we need to spin that. There's 3 of them. Last time we used circular pattern as a 2D sketch. This time we're under 3D. We come over here to about dead center of the screen. There is one called circular. Click there. It's asking what feature do you want to circular pattern. So we can choose that triangle that we did by just clicking on it, or you could click on extrusion 3 over here on the side. Rotation axis, what do we want to span around? Just grab a cylinder, so this one or the inside one, makes no difference. How many do we want? We want 3 of them. We're going to hit OK. That gives us all of those ones. The next thing that we need to do is do rounded edges. So we have radius of 3 for this edge, and then radius of 2 down here. This one does say right here, says something about a radius. I'm going to assume that says radius of 3. We're just going to make all of this radius of 2 to make it a little bit easier for everyone. But this one is our only radius of 3 right here on the top. And you can know that they're fillets based on having that stitch pattern, that back and forth pattern right there. That's rounded over edges, or what's shown as rounded over edges. So we come back here, we go up here to where it says fillet. We're going to keep this on 2, and we're just going to go around the object and select those 3 corners. I do this bottom one, and then we do that all the way around this whole entire object. So I'm selecting those 2 right there, selecting that line right there. I'm going to rotate this, those corners, that edge, corners, this front line on this one, maybe flip it again, this rounded edge, and that rounded edge. And what you should have is blue lines all the way around this. Now I can't select it from this top view because it's going to let me pick the top. So you actually have to be in a view like this to select these, because otherwise I'm choosing these ones and we're not rounding over the top. Again, I'm going to look at this. Top is not rounded. All of those ones are rounded in there all the way around. Again, leave that at radius of 2. And then right here I want you to hit plus. We're going to change this one. You should have 16 edges up here. Right here we're going to change this to 3 millimeters. And we're just going to choose this one line all the way around the top. So these ones are different sized, but we did it all in one step. We hit OK. Before we end this video, we look at this. Everything right here that has this sandy pattern to it is called cast iron. It can be cast aluminum or anything like that, but just in your mind, think cast iron for all of this. The white, which are in the insides of the holes, are machined, so they're basically made to be perfectly smooth. This was poured molten metal into sand is what cast iron is. So we're going to simulate that. So on here, we go up to default. We go under I. This is all in alphabetical order, so you can scroll down to I, or you could type I. And it's down here at the bottom. So the first one is indoor pool, industrial floor. We have iron cast. Please click on iron cast. Changes it to be very dark. The reason I chose iron cast first is because that's mainly what the part is iron cast. Then we're going to choose and hold Control on your keyboard, CTRL. We're going to choose the inside of that hole, inside of that hole, inside of that one, inside here, top face, and then we also need to zoom out or go to the front view and look directly down the center of the hole. Click the bottom there. So we have all of those picked there. We go up to where it says cast iron, or iron cast, I guess I should say up here. And we're going to do machined aluminum. And what that does, it makes it nice and shiny. From here, what I want you to do is hit File, Save As. You're going to save this in a document. I would always go to your desktop, and I would create a new folder. So I just hit New Folder. You can see all the different things that I've drawn for this one. And then this stuff is not in folders, and so it's going to bug me. So I'd always make a new folder. So make a new folder. We could call this one Revolve. You can save it to your desktop. It's entirely fine. But again, I would recommend being a little bit more organized. And since I already have one named Revolve, I got to call it something else really quickly. But I'm going to call it Revolve 2 for me. Double click on it. It should say Revolve 2 up here. And this name is going to be what's on the bottom here. So we're going to call this one 6.7 column support. So everything right there. So we come here, 6.7 column support. We go ahead and hit save. From there, we'll come back with the next video, and I'll show you how to put this on paper.